I have personally seen multiple friends have the mentality of someone else will always take care of me. My mommy and daddy will always pay for what I need. Whoever my future husband is, he will financially provide for everything that I need, or the government will take care of me. It's such unhealthy behavior and unhealthy thinking for girls to think that way.
It's time for the Margin Matters Minute with Money Man Jason Brown.
All right, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Jason Brown here. Today, I'm joined by a very special guest. Her name is Sarah Kurtenbach, and Sarah has over 13 years of experience working in technology, social media, and influencer marketing. After being a VP of a Fortune 500 media company in Atlanta and New York City, Sarah moved back home to South Dakota to start a consulting practice. Her current business venture is what we're going to be talking about today, and that is her building of a company called moveHER Money, which is an online educational program to equip high school and college age girls with financial intelligence and helping young women rise up in the area of leadership and money management. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing more about your new venture you're working on.
Thank you so much, Jason. I am so honored to be here. I'm super excited to chat more about this. So thank you for having me.
Yeah, I actually saw one of your emails. So this is my first question is, you sent an email out kind of announcing this new venture, and I was so excited to see it. And, money is, to me, personal finance is a life survival skill that most people don't have. So that's the first issue. So tell me about, you shared kind of like a testimony, kind of what led you to this project. So kind of share a little bit of background and how you came to this point of launching this program.
Yes, absolutely. So my career started in Atlanta. I started working for a Facebook technology company. That's really where I learned a lot about technology and Facebook, Instagram ads. So I lived in Atlanta for 2 years, and then that company moved me up to New York City, where I lived for 4 years, and I led sales. So I worked with the top agencies and the top brands in America. It was super fun, and I loved what I did. Then my whole life changed because I went on a blind date. So blind dates do work. Little side note. I went on a blind date with a man who lived in South Dakota, and I'm originally from South Dakota. So that's how that connection happened. I was home for Christmas. I fell in love with that man. We did long distance. I was in New York City. He was in South Dakota. 8 months later, he proposed. 6 months after that, we got married. So I quit my job in New York City. I moved home to South Dakota, and I started a consulting practice. So I would consult with companies on Facebook, Instagram ads, strategy, and then also influencer marketing. I did that for about 8 years. And the whole time, Jason, I was doing that, I knew that I was going to be consulting for a season, because even though I was good at it, even though I liked it, even though it made money, it was not my purpose. And when I say purpose, I feel like it was not what God truly created me to do in my career. But I just didn't totally know the direction that I was supposed to go. I knew I had 4 core passions when it came to what I wanted my potential career to be. I was very passionate about high school and college girls. I've always loved that age group. I feel like they are such amazing leaders. And I was also prophesied over when I was a college student. And when that prophecy happened, they really spoke about how I was going to be a core mentor and leader for high school and college girls. So I've always loved that age group. I've always been interested in finances and money. I've always been interested in business, and I've always been interested in faith and tying in spirituality and God into things too. How were all those 4 things going to merge? I had no idea. So I kept consulting for 8 years. And then what would happen is every time a big project would wrap up, or I would stop working with the client and I would have a little bit more wiggle room in my calendar, I felt a tug on my heart of maybe God telling me, okay, Sarah, it's time to do something different. It's time to really listen to me. And I would ignore the voice. I would ignore the voice because I was like, I know how to consult with companies. I know how to make money that way. And I'm just going to chase the dollar. I'm going to chase the dollar and I'm going to fill up my calendar. So I did that for 8 years. There were 2 significant things that happened that really made me want to pursue building moveHER Money, an educational program. So number one is last year in 2022, I had a major client. I worked with them 4 days a week. They're almost like a full-time job. I had a major client all of a sudden hold an all hands meeting on Friday and tell everyone that the company was going to be closing their doors in 24 hours. We did not see it coming. It was very much a surprise to me and all the other employees there. So literally in 24 hours, I lost, 80% of my consulting company, 80% of my revenue. Is very significant. I had a lot of time on my hands, right? With that client being gone. So I really felt God telling me, like, this is the time. You need to listen to me now. And for the first time in my career, I said, okay, God, I will listen. So I just really pressed in. I prayed, I listened, and very, very quickly, God gave me the idea of moveHER Money and the need that high school and college girls have to learn more about money, learn more about finances, because financial literacy for that age group is pretty abysmal. We can talk more about that. And then the second core thing that happened that really lit a fire to have me start creating this was when the government said that they were looking into forgiving student loans. And what just boggled my mind, I could not understand how they were willing to spend billions and billions of dollars to forgive student loans, but not put any money towards teaching people how to not get into this mess in the first place. Like, if this is a crisis, why are we not teaching people how to stay away from the crisis? I just felt like it was not the right decision. And I was just thinking, man, like, girls need to learn. Why will the government not create literacy or programs to teach them? The answer is they most likely won't. So that's going to be me, right? And that's going to be you. It's going to be people like us who really step up to teach people. So those are the two things that really lit a fire underneath me to start creating moveHER Money.
And to correct you on the amount of student loan debt we have in our country, it's 1.75 trillion. That's trillion with a T. And that is the second highest debt in our country, second to only home mortgages. So there you have it. It's even worse than you stated. So, but that's awesome. What a great story and what a great testimony to launching this this tremendous educational program that is so desperately needed in our country. And actually, this kind of leads into my next thought. On your website, you had, I guess you kind of shared some articles with some really shocking statistics. And I'm going to read those statistics now. I have them right here because I thought they were so powerful. And I'm just going to read the statistics, which I guess were the headlines of the articles. And then just you can kind of share maybe some of your thoughts on what those are. So the first one says 75% of American teens lack confidence in their knowledge of personal finance, which was kind of what you were alluding to a second ago. 73 million adults are struggling financially, and over 65% of Americans are financially illiterate and unable to manage their finances, which is a huge problem in our country. And then the last one was 25% of Americans say they don't have anyone they can ask for trusted financial guidance. So what are some of your thoughts and comments on those shocking headlines?
Yes, for sure. So we'll start with the first one. The 75% of American teens lack confidence in their knowledge of personal finance. That stat, while it is such a high number, actually did not shock me when I first read it. And because when I started building moveHER Money, which will launch in April, so it's not done yet, but I started talking about it to a ton of people. One of the top questions I get is, well, Sarah, why are teens or college students not learning this from their parents, and why are they not learning it at school? So there's two main answers to that. They're not learning it from their parents because, unfortunately, a lot of parents do not feel adequate enough to teach their children about finances because they themselves do not understand finances. And then why aren't schools teaching this? Well, school curriculum. Some states are changing it to include personal finance. South Dakota is actually one of the states that does have a personal finance class. We can talk more about that class later because I've gotten a lot of feedback on what that class is like. But the thing is, schools are not teaching it. They're not teaching it. So if children are not learning, if teens are not learning about money from their parents at home or from school, where are they going to learn? No wonder why 75% of teens lack confidence because no one is teaching them. It's really sad. Kids need to learn. Learning about money is one of the most important things that someone can learn in their lifetime. I think that there's 3 decisions you make that impact your entire life. Number 1, choosing to love God. Number 2, who you marry. Number 3, learning how to manage your money. Those 3 things will dictate how your life is. So teens and college kids need to learn about money.
Well, Sarah, let me tell you where, since kids are not learning from parents or schools, let me tell you where they are learning from. TikTok. They're learning about money
Yes,
from,
exactly.
social media, TikTok, mainstream media, their broke neighbors and friends. That's where they're learning money from. And that's creating, obviously a snowball ripple effect of terrible,
Yes.
decisions down the road. So that's what's happening, unfortunately.
Oh, it's so bad. And even the crypto world, how
Right.
that was marketed is this is how you can make bank. This is how you can get a huge return for your money. And as we've seen from what happened last year to FTX and other crypto companies, that's actually not the case. And it should not be marketed to teens and college students as an awesome way to make money, an awesome way to invest your money. But it is, and that, like what you said, like that's where kids are learning from. They're learning from places where they're just given poor financial advice.
Right, right. And that's so true. Now, you touched a little bit on, I want to dive a little bit deeper into why the majority of American schools are not teaching personal finance. Now we are seeing, Sarah, this is kind of a good thing. There's an underground movement, if you will. Like there's a trend. So things are starting to slowly happen. So, Ron DeSantis, the governor of Florida, recently announced that Florida high schools are going to have a requirement for personal finance for high schools students to graduate. And then, of course, Georgia, here in Georgia, I'm in Atlanta, we do whatever Florida does. So Florida announced it, then, Governor Kemp, he announced the same thing. So I think the most recent state was Michigan. And then you mentioned North Dakota, your state. But I want to say I saw an article recently that said Michigan was only the 14th state to mandate. And I think it was only like a half course credit of personal finance to graduate. Now, it's not much, but it's a start. And hopefully it's something that, other states will start picking up on. But what do you think? Like, to me, this should be taught in kindergarten. The kids as early as kindergarten, first grade should be learning how to count money, learning how to identify currency, toy cash registers, stuff like that, make believe grocery stores. There's so many things that you can do at the grade school level to introduce kids to money. So what are some of your thoughts on, why isn't this happening more, I guess, widespread in America?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's never just one thing, right? I think it's a couple different things. So one thing is the school curriculum that they have in place. It's kind of what's been in place for a long time. And to change something as big as a statewide curriculum takes a lot of work. It could take a lot of money. You also need someone to now teach that course. So there's a lot of things that just kind of make it hard, which might be why some like states or some schools shy away from it. But the other thing too, I was just reading about this yesterday, Jason, is it was talking about budgets. So school budgets, because one of the core things is, well, the school doesn't have a budget to put together a course like this and have a teacher teach it. But yet a school has a budget. At least in South Dakota, almost every student that goes to a public school gets an iPad or gets a laptop for their school. So if they have the budget to do all of these other things, there is actually budget available. There is budget available to create these kind of courses. I do think, like what you said, these first states making the movement to start creating a personal finance course will hopefully lead to every state in our nation doing this, because it's so 100% needed, right? Mm-hmm. Kids, I will be using what I learned in personal finances way more than what I ever learned in social studies. Right. And it's not to knock social studies or pre-calc, right? I took pre-calc. As soon as I was done with that class, I've never used pre-calc again in my life. It's not to knock those classes, but it's saying we also need to teach kids things that they will actually need to use, and not just use, will totally determine what type of a life they live, mm-hmm. and how they're able to live their life. The states that have the states that have those classes. So in South Dakota, we have a personal finance class in our high schools, which is so amazing. I talked to a bunch of girls in high school about what is this class like? What are you learning? Do you feel like it's applicable to what you need to do in the world? And I've heard both sides. One of the main things that I've heard, and I think that how schools can get better, or if not schools, people like me and you, Jason, right, who can rise up to help teach the next generations. They said that a lot of the projects that they did are not projects, are not things that they would actually experience in their life. So for example, they were given a budget and they had to use this budget to put on an album release party for Lil Wayne. That's a fun project, right? That's super fun. But is that actually going to happen in their life? Probably not. They should maybe be given a budget and be like, okay, now you need to buy everything for your first year in college. Or here you're given a budget. How would you manage this for the first 60 days after you graduate from college and you have a real job making this amount of money and you live in this state, so you have this amount of taxes? More kind of real world stuff versus big end, Lil Wayne album release party.
Right. That's a good
because
point.
while one project didn't totally help them learn what they actually need to learn.
Right. That's so true. Very well said. I do want to correct myself to the viewers. I think earlier I said you were in North Dakota and you are in South Dakota. I apologize for that. So let everybody know you are in the South Dakota state of United States of America. So moving on, Sarah, tell me, just kind of dive into this, your new venture here. It's called moveHER Money. And just tell us a little more about it, and why is it so important? I know you've touched on a little bit of this, but why is it so important? Tell us how it's going to work, and how can people get involved if they want to sign up or whatever. Just let us know all the details.
Yes, absolutely. So moveHER Money is a digital course, and I'm creating 2 courses to begin with. One course for high school girls, one course for college girls. The foundation will really be the same, but there'll just be different examples and a little bit of different things they learn depending on their season of life. This course is going to be 13 different chapters or 13 different topics. So it starts at the beginning of just teaching girls to have the desire to be an asset, which basically is you have something of value to bring to someone else. I started with teaching girls that because I have personally seen multiple friends have the mentality of someone else will always take care of me. My mommy and daddy will always pay for what I need. Whoever my future husband is, he will financially provide for everything that I need, or the government will take care of me. It's such unhealthy behavior and unhealthy thinking for girls to think that way. So it starts with really mindset, like wanting to be an asset, wanting the desire to work and make money so you can sustain yourself. And then it goes all the way through all the nitty-gritty things of finances, right, Jason? So it teaches girls how to save, how to invest, how to find a great CPA and a great financial advisor. It teaches them about taxes, all about loans and credit cards. One of the main pieces of feedback I got from girls is they said, I don't even know what a credit card is. All I know is my parents say, don't get one, but they don't even teach me what it is. What is a credit card? How do I use it? What's an APR? So obviously, credit cards can be dangerous, but girls also just need to know what a credit card is. And this is why you should probably stay away from one. They're not being taught that. And then I'm really diving into student loans. I have kind of 11 steps of how to graduate from college in cash, totally stay away from student loans. And then at the very end of the course, it ends with giving and trying to build the desire in girls to be generous givers in their life. So it's a wide range of topics, but it really kind of covers everything that a girl would need to know in finances in that season of life. So yeah, it's an online course. Girls will be able to take it at their own pace. And after that, I plan on building multiple other kind of additional courses as well too, but we'll start with those 2 basic ones.
That's so great. And I actually was going to ask you about the student loan debt aspect of the course, but you mentioned that, and I was excited to hear that because that's so important too. Because most college students, when you graduate college, you're broke, right?
Yes.
So you don't want to be broke and in $80,000 of student loan debt. That's just really not the best way to start out your adult life. So anything that you can do, and I know you're working on that to aspect as part of your course, that's great. Tell me a little bit, Sarah, I'm just curious. So this is targeted specifically toward high school and college age girls. So I think you said on your website, it's what, 14 to 24. Is that kind of the target age range for your students?
Exactly. Yep. That's going to be kind of the
Perfect.
core age range. How I see this happening is I actually see the majority of people buying the course will be parents or grandparents or aunts, uncles, sisters, brothers for their daughter, granddaughter, whoever it is. So I see this almost being more like someone else is going to buy it for the girl to take. When the course goes live in April, one of the first ways I'm going to market it is to have this be a graduation present for girls, where it's like, hey, instead of buying your daughter an Apple Watch for graduating, buy her this course. An Apple Watch will only get her so far, right? An Apple Watch can only do so many things. This course could teach her all about finances so that she can be self-reliant when it comes to her money. So that's going to be like the first way that I market it. But yeah, that's kind of the core age range that I'm really looking at, around the ages of 14 to 24. If you're in high school, college, or just getting ready to graduate soon, this is a good course for you.
That's so great. Now, now besides appearing on my, a viral video here on YouTube, what other ways are you doing to create awareness of the program? What other type of marketing strategies you have to let people know about it?
Yes, absolutely. So, first of all, I'm building up an email list. So I see one of the core ways to be able to sell the course is through emails, because I know that people have to first learn about the course, learn about me, and trust the course and trust me before they buy. So I'll be doing email marketing, social media posts as well. My whole background is social media ads. So I'll also be doing social media ads to build up that email list. That's kind of the core, like, I guess, marketing standpoint. But the other things I'll be doing is some PR. So things like this, I already am going to be on a couple podcasts coming up as well too. I have a news segment in South Dakota talking about the course. So a couple of things from a PR standpoint to get the word out there. And then the other thing I'll be doing is partnerships. So one of the things that I would like to do is to be able to partner with financial advisors, because a financial advisor, if they have a couple who already is working with them, which shows they have a desire to learn about money and be smart with their money, if they have a daughter in that age range, I think this could be something perfect for the financial advisor to recommend this course for their daughter to take. So almost kind of partner with financial advisors. I also have an idea of partnering with companies to have them offer moveHER money as a part of their benefits program. So now if they hire girls right out of college or high school college girls, it's like, all right, we're not just going to set you up with a 401k and healthcare. We're also going to provide you this course as a benefit, so you actually know what to do with your money now that you're making some. I think it could be an amazing way for companies to really be forward thinkers and teaching their female employees what to do with money. And then the last partnership is kind of organizations like Girl Scouts, or organizations that really look at developing female leaders in our country. I think there could be really cool partnership opportunities with them. So that's kind of what I'm looking at as a way to start getting the word out there. But yeah, one step at a time, Jason,
Wow.
we're like entrepreneurs building things. So
It sounds like you have a great business plan. I'm so excited to hear this. Like these are great ideas, outreach or whatever you want, like you say, partnerships. The partnerships are going to be so important to develop this, this course curriculum and get the word out. And to me, it's just all about empowering women. So this is so exciting. I'm so like thrilled for you to do this. And of course, anything I can do to support, happy to do it. So as we wrap up with Sarah here, talking about her new venture, moveHER Money, which is going to be a tremendous online course for young high school and college age girls to learn about personal finance. Sarah, tell everybody, how can people connect with you if they want to learn more about the program? You have a website set up or an email or anything you want to share that people could connect with you to learn more about the program, or if they want to, can people sign up yet, or let us know how that works?
Yes, there are two main ways to connect with me right now. The number one way is to go to the website moveher.com. moveher.money. So moveher.money. That's right now is a landing coming soon page since the course will be out in April. But on that page, you can submit your email. People who submit their emails will get first access to the course. And I'm also putting together just a bunch of really fun freebies to continue to teach people and teach girls and even teach parents about money. So that would be the number one way to be able to get access to the course quickly, right away. So check out that website. The second way is to connect with me personally would be on Instagram. So my handle on Instagram is my name, Sarah Kurtenbach. Last name, or I guess Sarah with an H, Kurtenbach is Kurtenbach. That would be an awesome way to connect with me personally and just shoot me a DM.
That's so great. And now letting everybody know, depending on when you're watching this video, so you're going to launch this course of April of 2023. Was that correct? So look out for it in April of 2023. Most people will probably be watching this after April 2023. So hopefully when you're watching it, it's already out and you can go to the website. And if you want to sign up for it, you can do that there. And we'll have all those links in the description below as well for anybody who wants to follow Sarah. So this is Jason Brown saying thanks so much for watching. I hope you learned something. I hope you can take advantage of this opportunity of Sarah's new program to enrich and empower young women and radically change their financial future of not only themselves, but their future families and generations, et cetera. So for my special guest, Sarah Kurtenbach, this is Jason Brown saying to always remember my favorite saying, it's not the amount of money you make, but the margin that matters the most. We'll see you next time.